Forgiveness is better than revenge, for forgiveness is the sign of a gentle nature, but revenge is the sign of a savage nature. Freedom is the right to live as we wish. All philosophy lies in two words: sustain and abstain. First learn the meaning of what you say, and then speak. Nothing great is created suddenly, any more than a bunch of grapes or a figure. If you tell me that you desire a figure, I answer you that there must be time. Let it first blossom, then bear fruit, then ripen. We have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak. Only the educated are free. A ship should not ride on a single anchor, nor life on a single hope. In theory it is easy to convince an ignorant person. In actual life, men not only object to offer themselves to be convinced, but hate the man who has convinced them. You may fetter my leg, but Zeus himself cannot get the better of my free will. It is your own convictions which compels you, that is, choice compels choice. Nature gave us 1 tongue and 2 ears so we could hear twice as much as we speak. You are a little soul carrying around a corpse. Keep silence for the most part, and speak only when you must, and then briefly. It is our attitude toward events, not events themselves, which we can control. Nothing is by its own nature calamitous. Even death is terrible only if we fear it. On the occasion of every accident that befalls you, remember to turn to yourself and inquire what power you have for turning it to use. First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. A ship ought not to be held by 1 anchor, nor life by a single hope. We do not choose our own parts in life, and have nothing to do with those parts. Our duty is confined to playing them well. The essence of philosophy is that a man should so live that his happiness shall depend as little as possible on external things. The key is to keep company only with people who uplift you, whose presence calls forth your best. Know, first, who you are, and then adorn yourself accordingly. What ought one to say then as each hardship comes? I was practicing for this, I was training for this. If thy brother wrongs thee, remember not so much his wrongdoing, but more than ever that he is thy brother. Men are not influenced by things, but by their thoughts about things. He who exercises wisdom exercises the knowledge which is about God. To adorn our characters by the charm of an amiable nature shows at once a lover of beauty and a lover of man. Men are disturbed not by things, but by the view which they take of them. In prosperity it is very easy to find a friend. In adversity, nothing is so difficult. He is a wise man who does not grieve for the things which he has not, but rejoices for those which he has. It is better to advise than upbraid, for the one corrects the erring, the other only convicts them. When you are offended at any man's fault, turn to yourself and study your own failings. Then you will forget your anger. Let death be daily before your eyes, and you will never entertain any abject thought, nor too eagerly covet anything. He is a man of sense who does not grieve for what he has not, but rejoices in what he has. Control thy passions lest they take vengeance on thee. When you are offended at any man's fault, turn to yourself and study your own failings. Then you will forget your anger. Let death be daily before your eyes, and you will never entertain any abject thought, nor too eagerly covet anything. He is a man of sense who does not grieve for what he has not, but rejoices in what he has. Control thy passions lest they take vengeance on thee. Difficulties show men what they are. In case of any difficulty, God has pitted you against a rough antagonist that you may be a conqueror, and this cannot be without toil. God hath entrusted me with myself. And have you not received faculties which will enable you to bear all that happens to you? Have you not received greatness of spirit? Have you not received courage? Have you not received endurance? A wise man is he who does not grieve for the thing which he has not, but rejoices for those which he has. No man is able to make progress when he is wavering between opposite things. Do not seek to bring things to pass in accordance with your wishes, but wish for them as they are, and you will find them. Liars are the cause of all the sins and crimes in the world. If you are told that such an one speaks ill of you, make no defense against what was said, but answer, he surely knew not my other faults, else he would not have mentioned these only. Be careful to leave your sons well instructed rather than rich, for the hopes of the instructed are better than the wealth of the ignorant. No great thing is created suddenly, any more than a bunch of grapes or a figure. If you tell me that you desire a fig, I answer you that there must be time. Let it first blossom, then bear fruit, then ripen. No man is free who is not master of himself. I must die. Must I then die lamenting I must be put in chains? Must I then also lament I must go into exile? Does any man then hinder me from going with smiles and cheerfulness and contentment? If evil be spoken of you and it be true, correct yourself, if it be a lie, laugh at it. It is the sign of a dull mind to dwell upon the cares of the body, to prolong exercise, eating and drinking, and other bodily functions. These things are best done by the way. All your attention must be given to the mind. A. Reason is not measured by size or height, but by principle. Whoever does not regard what he has as most ample wealth, is unhappy, though he be master of the world. Freedom is not procured by a full enjoyment of what is desired, but by controlling the desire. Make the best use of what is in your power, and take the rest as it happens. It is our attitude toward events, not events themselves, which we can control. Nothing is by its own nature calamitous, even death is terrible only if we fear it. First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. It is our attitude toward events, not events themselves, which we can control. Nothing is by its own nature calamitous, even death is terrible only if we fear it. If anyone tells you that a certain person speaks ill of you, do not make excuses about what is said of you, but answer, he was ignorant of my other faults, else he would not have mentioned these alone. If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. If one oversteps the bounds of moderation, the greatest pleasures cease to please. You may be always victorious if you will never enter into any contest where the issue does not wholly depend upon yourself. It is not he who reviles or strikes you who insults you, but your opinion that these things are insulting. Ask not that events should happen as you will, but let your will be that events should happen as they do, and you shall have peace. No greater thing is created suddenly, any more than a bunch of grapes or a figure. If you tell me that you desire a fig, I answer you that there must be time. Let it first blossom, then bear fruit, then ripen. Know you not that a good man does nothing for appearance sake, but for the sake of having done right? Who is not attracted by bright and pleasant children, to prattle, to creep, and to play with them? Men are disturbed not by things that happen, but by their opinion of the things that happen. He is a drunkard who takes more than 3 glasses though he be not drunk. When a youth was giving himself airs in the theatre and saying, I am wise for I have conversed with many wise men, Epictetus replied, I too have conversed with many rich men, yet I am not rich. It is impossible for a man to learn what he thinks he already knows. Is freedom anything else than the right to live as we wish? Nothing else. A strict belief, fate is the worst kind of slavery. On the other hand, there is comfort in the thought that God will be moved by our prayers. Whenever you are angry, be assured that it is not only a present evil, but that you have increased the habit. It is not so much what happens to you as how you think about what happens. Epictetus.